30 days of dedication. I can't believe we are on day 26. Yesterday was day 25, and we reviewed some controversial bowlers. Hiro, who's live right now with us. Hiro, do you know that we reviewed Conor McGregor?
Oh wow. I saw his clip the other day on the socials. He was playing.
Yeah. He was playing, and we did a little bit of analysis of him, Conor McGregor, and we thought, okay, mixed martial arts, MMA fighter, playing soccer, how's that going to look? And it's fun, man. Fun to see. We love his dedication. We love his spirit. A lot of slide tackles. Um,
Uh,
but he's got some work to do. But if Connor, if you're watching this, you want to come train with Train Effective, we've got a great camp for you, and it's not far from you. It's in London, so come to our London camp, Connor. Yeah,
yeah, the clip reminded me of when we'd play with all the rugby players back in New Zealand, and they'd just go and slide tackles, rugby tackles.
love that. Love that. All right, so Hero, today's topic, and for those of you guys who don't know, Hero, we have a player right now in the US of A. So all the Americans, big shout out to Americans. Hero's from Washington. But we've got Hero on the podcast today instead of Sam, who can't be here today. We've got Hero because Hero plays soccer in the USA in college, football, soccer, whatever you want to call it. He plays in the USA. And we know in the Train Effective ecosystem, there are so many players that are interested in playing in the USA. If you ever thought about playing in the US, playing college, playing in the MLS even, I think we're going to have a great stream today because we've got Hero on the stream. So welcome, Hero.
Thank you, Nick. It's a pleasure to be here.
So, Hero, you play right now in Washington State. You play for a
Yep.
university called PLU, which is Pacific Lutheran University, right?
Yes. Yes, I
Right.
do.
And your accent is a bit not American. So, tell us where you're from. Where are you from? Where are you from? How did you get to US?
So I was actually living in New Zealand before I came to the US, and I grew up there and played football over there. I didn't really take football very seriously growing up, until I don't know, there was a point in middle school where I searched up how to go pro, and funny enough, the first video that came up was your 100-day challenge, Nick.
Woo! What?
And yeah, I got inspired. I really got inspired by that, and kind of started taking football more seriously. And I don't know, a couple of years later, or a few years later, you launched the app, and I remember just using it to kind of improve each day, and I like not just with their own workouts, but motivating myself to train regardless. And it held me accountable, so it was a good way to kind of improve, and I guess it opened up a lot of opportunities to even come here to the US and play. Um, I came with an agency called Platform Sports, so they help a lot of Kiwi and Aussie kids to come to the US.
Let's get into this topic because this is the pathway for a lot of players. And by the way, on TikTok, thank you, Dr. Mixalot. Great to see you. Uh, we have some comments here. Olam, great to see you. Yeah, we're on the switch up, Doctor. It's good to see you guys. Greetings to Pachi, Pichichichi, Callum. Good. So you're from New Zealand, obviously in the US. So in terms of this specific sort of agency and how you got there, so obviously we know your story. You started dreaming of becoming a pro. You watch my 100-day challenge. And for those of you guys who don't know what the 100-day challenge is, go YouTube it. 100-day challenge, train effective, or 100-day challenge, Nick Humphries. You will see. You will see what Hero's talking about. It's been the gateway for a lot of these challenges that you see today. So this is what Hero came up of. Use the Train Effective app, which is amazing, as you know, Hero, right? That's how you became
Yeah,
successful.
I still use it now. It's awesome. Yeah.
Amazing. And here's a fact, guys. Actually, I'll tell that fact after towards we get to the end. I got a fun fact for you guys about Hero and where he's currently working. All right, I'll let you take some guesses, but I'll leave that to the end. But this specific step, Hero, of you getting to the US, okay, so you have this dream, you have this goal. Now you want to go play in the US. Did you how did you get in contact with this agency that helped you? Like, is agency the only way? Like, what were your routes to the US?
I think for internationals, agencies are probably the only way to get here. To
Okay.
find like a good school playing a good level. Um, so I guess it depends on the country. There are some big names, and usually it is like the price varies. But I like for Southern Hemisphere people, so for people from Australia and New Zealand, we have Platform, which is the one I used. And the way it works is you sign up with the agency, you pay a fee, um, and then they'll reach out to coaches for you, which makes it a lot easier because they already have a network of coaches and they know what coaches are looking for, whether they're looking for center backs or strikers or what type of play they're playing, if they like recruiting internationals, what type of internationals they like to recruit. So they have all of like the fine details that I guess makes our life easier. So then we don't have to cold email 500 coaches and then have to stay in contact with them. They do that process for us. Um, and then they'll set up like interviews. So then I had a few interviews with a few coaches here in the US and they kind of walk you through how you talk to the coaches, what questions you should ask to kind of try to find the right fit for you. Um, so yeah, I like as an international, I'd suggest using an agency just because it brings up more opportunities. It's also less stressful. Um, and usually they're very helpful. In my case, I was very lucky that the team at Platform was super helpful and very attentive to the recruiting process, and even now, we still catch up very often and kind of stay in touch to see what's the plan going forward and all of that.
Okay, love that. So agency. So if you're a talented player, you want to go play in the US, your best bet is to go with an agency. Um,
Yeah.
and by the way, guys, there are a lot of agencies out there, so you got to be really careful and
Mm.
specific which one you choose to work with. What are some what are some scams to be aware of, or like what should you be looking for in this agency?
I think the the best way to avoid it is to try to find pages that are already followed by other college players. There are a lot of scams, so that's just a heads up. And there are also a lot of people trying to get into the agency network. And I would avoid that for now, just because if you're looking for the best opportunity, you should probably aim for the ones with more followers. Just check the followers, check where the players are going and if it's legitimate. Usually they'll post about it if a player commits it to a certain college. I would even reach out to the player if you don't mind doing that.
Yeah,
But
see if
yeah,
they're legit. I think Hero, that's a really good point. If you guys have been considering an agency, and this goes for all of you guys, like if you're getting approached by agents, okay, most are scams. So if on their page are like putting on their page like players that they've worked with, players that signed, reach out to those players and say, hey, what was your experience with working with this agent and this club? Um, what was your experience working with this agency? Like, go reach out and talk to them, because they might come back and be like, yeah, it's okay, but they asked for this and this, and then then you get really behind the scenes. So that's a really good point, Hero.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, I would stay really careful with that. I think even in pro football, like it's a risk. There's always a risk of getting scammed by people that claim to be agents. Also, watch out for agencies that ask for upfront fees before you even meet with him. That's also a huge red flag. You shouldn't have to
Upfront
pay
fees,
anything.
upfront fees before you meet with them.
Yeah. So
So,
they'll DM you and ask for, I don't know, $200 as like a lock-in fee or something like that. So then you have your spot secured, but that's a scam.
mm.
I would avoid that 100%.
And when you mean spot secured, you mean the spot secured for like a showcase or like a match or
Yeah,
what?
that. Yeah, just them. Yeah, they assu- I don't know. They make claims that they can secure your spots in showcases in certain colleges, and that's another red flag. Like they can't put assurances before the process has begun because you're not in the portal, you're not in the coaches' networks. So
Mhm.
like unless you're all in already, they can't make any assurances like that. It's just not feasible.
Okay. All right. Good point. Good point. Um, all right. And then Pacici says, I want to play in any part of Europe, in the country, any part of European country. I want to fulfill my dreams. Hey, you're listening to the right things. Even when we're talking about US college soccer here, there's a lot of pitfalls we've already been talking about with agencies.
Hmm.
So watch out for this stuff. Okay. So and then what are the typical costs here of these kind of agencies? What are they charging?
It usually depends. The bigger ones will probably cost around probably just between 1,000 to 2,000 US dollars. Um, the smaller ones, I think it just depends. I wouldn't pay anything over 4,000, which is already like too much, but that
Mhm.
would be like the ex absolute maximum. Um, and that like at all those prices, you're gonna find similar opportunities. I think if you want to talk to the bigger D1 schools, the bigger agencies are definitely better. Um, you have to be prepared to be physically ready to have a really good highlights video and a very good football resume. Just so then when they go into the recruiting process, it's very like attractive for the coach.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you say bigger agencies and that you talk about D1, uh,
Uh-huh.
so like what are we talking about there? Because D1, right? When we talk about college scholarships, this is a big topic because a lot of people in the US want college scholarships, athletic scholarships, where you get
Right.
paid, you have your tuition, you have your education paid for you in the US. So is
Right.
this what the bigger agencies do?
Yeah, so they'll find you those opportunities. In my case, at my last school, I was getting a scholarship to just play. So that was obviously very nice because you get an education and at the same time you're playing at a high level. And in many cases with the bigger D1 schools, when you have these agencies negotiate for you, they have more experience in how like uh these scholarship paperworks go. So whether it seems too good to be true or not, whether the coach is like fully locked in with the idea, because that's another risk. Sometimes coaches just pull out. Um, and I think, as you said, like with a lot of these new, sorry, not new, with a lot of the D1 schools, you get a lot more scholarship money that covers all of your tuition. Sometimes it gives you a stipend, so then you get like money for food and all of that. And on top of that, you get all the perks, like all the gear and everything else. In some schools, they even give out football boots as well, so
Okay,
it's like the whole package. Yeah. I
love
mean,
that.
like even in Oregon, like the colleges over there, because Nike is based in Oregon, um, a lot of them are sponsored by Nike and they'll provide them with like football boots and everything.
Mm. Nike school, Nike sponsor school means free Nike boots. We love that. Yeah. Although I'm starting to lean towards Mizuno's. You know any players with Mizuno's?
Me.
You okay? All right.
Yeah.
Love that. What's the
Yeah, the
best? What's the best?
Morellis.
The Morellis?
The Morellias.
So I haven't worn Mizuno's for a long time. I'm more of a Nike Vapor, Mercurial Vapors. I've been wearing that for a
Uh-huh.
long time. So I'm like, if I make the switch to Mizuno, which boots am I going for? Which is the most like the Vapors, but has that comfort
Uh,
and stability?
probably the alphas are nice. I also had the alphas. They're really light. They're lighter than the Mercurials.
Alpha
Um,
Mizuno.
yeah.
Let's give this a look. Here we go. Alpha Mizunos. All right, these ones.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
They're
actually,
really
that does
nice.
it does look very similar to the vapors.
Uh-huh. Yeah, they're very
Similar.
nice. They're very light. They've got very good lockdown with the laces.
Okay.
Um, it's yeah. I mean, I recommend Mizuno's. I think they're the best boots on the market.
All right. I might get these for
If the
Christmas.
possible sponsorship deal with Train Effective.
Hey, guys, 100% they should. Mizuno, they're up and coming brand. You know, they want to compete with the likes of Nike and Adidas. It's a no-brainer to hook us up. No-brainer.
Yeah.
Is someone anyone from Mizuno watching? Or if you know someone at Mizuno, send them this video, guys. um all right. So anything else you want to mention on that college US soccer side? I want to actually get to one question here that might answer that. So
Okay.
here we go. And Saxi says he prefers Adidas, Nick. Saxi, it's all your preference. I'm just hearing really good things about Mizuno. Um, so what's the difference? Callum asked, what's the difference between college football in America and in Europe? I think I can answer this a little bit. All right, I can start with Europe. First of all, in Europe, Callum, when we talk about college football in Europe, we're talking about uni football, university football, and university football typically in like the UK, for example, it's like the university team might be playing against other university teams, so they have their own university league. Sometimes university teams even play like in a non-league. Um, but it's compared that to the US. Okay, in the UK, maybe you're training once or twice, or maybe you're not even training with your university team, unless you're a very good university like Loughborough University. Loughborough University is a good one, and I believe Loughborough have a team in like non-league, um, and there'll be a lot of ex academy players and stuff. But typically, right, it's like maybe you're training a couple times a week and a match, or maybe not even training at all because it's very Sunday league. Now, when you switch that over to the US college soccer system, Hero, how many times a week do you think you train with your US college team?
4 or 5 times just with the team.
Plus
And
game.
then yeah, and then 2 games in the weekend and uh weight sessions and strength and conditioning 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah, and guys, we talk about a train effective living like a pro, experiencing the lifestyle of a pro. This is exactly why we have our train effective camps in London, in Miami. So, this is why we do them. But second of all, when it comes to US college soccer, you're really training like a pro every day. You have great facilities. When you're in that gym, I assume, Hero, that you're kind of like coordinated and led by a real like strength SNC
Right.
person. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
And they all do like specialized trainings just for like the football team and then for the other sports. So you get everything specialized all around your sport for you.
Yeah. So
And
this is go on, Hero.
no, no, you go. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I mean, that's the beautiful thing about US college soccer that I've heard is you live like a pro, train like a pro, plus you get an education. Um, and you might not be in Washington. You might be. I remember I had a friend that went to Arizona. He played college soccer in Arizona for 4 years, and he said it was the best time in his life because Arizona has really good weather. It's sunny year round. I think it's like in the desert. I think, right,
Hmm.
Arizona.
Yeah.
And the education was really good. He went to a really good university. And in terms of student life, if you're about that student life, the US can be really fun and interesting for student life. So it depends where you sit on this scale, guys. If you're leaning towards a bit more education, student life, and you want to play soccer and live like a pro, you kind of get best of all worlds here in that US system. If you really want to be just you're so focused on being professional, maybe you have that European passport or different passports that give you access to these different countries around the world, then maybe you don't lean towards US college soccer as much. I personally, for everyone here, when I was about 18, 19, 17, I also applied for US college scholarships, and I actually got like 9 or 10 offers. I had a really good highlight video, got a lot of offers. And in the end, I just decided to turn it down because I had a European passport and that allowed me to play in Holland. and I could also study in Holland. So my choice was to go play in Holland, where the tuition fees were low for Europeans, and go play soccer there for really good teams. And that's the choice I made. And the reason why I decided against the US was because it looked great, it looked really promising, but I thought for professional prospects in the USA, if you really want to go play MLS or higher, then it's important to have that US passport or US visa or whatever. And that's kind of hard to
Right.
get if you're not American. I mean, you
That's
can't get a
true.
passport if you're not American. Let's call it that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all these considerations. All these considerations. City Striker asks, "Where do you play? Where did you play in Holland?" I played in Amsterdam. I lived in Amsterdam for about 3 years. Um, I'm from the US and I currently play academy abroad. I've been sending countless emails and still haven't heard back from a lot. Any advice? Ben, how many emails have you been sending? Second of all, I don't know where you're sending these emails, Ben, but it's gonna be really hard for you to get replies if you're in the USA and you're emailing people in England. Like there's so many rules and restrictions there about who can play in the UK, who can play in Spain, etc. So you have to be very, very vigilant there and very, very cautious as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. But Ben, don't even talk to us unless you've sent 100 emails and good emails. Not,
Yeah.
you know,
Not chat.
everyone's using ChatGPT these days. Guys, everyone knows, everyone can see a mile away the ChatGPT. Just and it used to be worse before ChatGPT because people then wouldn't even know how to structure an email. But but yeah, look, like Ben, maybe if you maybe share us that email, share us the email. You can DM me at Nick Humph. We'll look at your email, but you got to make sure that email is not too AI, because coaches will look right through that these days. Yeah,
Exactly.
but Ben does say I currently play for Sevilla with a visa, and I've been emailing coaches. Yeah, Ben. I mean, I don't know where you're emailing coaches, if they're in Spain, if they're in England, but make sure that you got a good cover letter, a great highlight video, and third, that you generally got some good credibility that you can add, and people think, wow, okay, he's good.
Yeah. And I think the highlight video is something people don't really talk about a lot, but having a great highlight video just makes your life a lot easier.
Yeah,
Like moving forward for recruitment or for getting scouted, it just shows to coaches that you're a decent player.
100%. We have some more questions. One from Callum. The food in America is very bad. Like bread isn't good for you. Bread isn't good for you, and in Europe it is good for you. So Hero, you're part Spanish, right?
Yeah.
No, Spanish, uh,
Mm,
Japanese,
Japanese,
and
Venezuelan.
okay. So Hero's got a wide spectrum here of the different food. How do you compare that? Is Callum right here about the bread? How do you feel about
Yeah, I mean, like the food on campus isn't amazing. Like I don't think it really helps athletes, but
that?
the funny thing is like there's this meme page that came out, you know how there's all these new AI generated videos and it was like a made up video of like these English football players going to play college soccer here in the US and like their first week eating food and and how they were shocked. A lot of it is like true. I remember the first week I was here, like there was hamburgers for like dinner twice a week, and the other times it was like some all-American breakfast and yeah, I mean you have to be careful because if you don't watch your diet, you can put on weight pretty quickly. I know a
Mm.
lot of my friends it happened to them from overseas coming into the US, just eating a lot of junk food.
Yeah, so it's something you do got to be aware of. Like, Hero, are there any ways around this? Do you have to then eat off campus? Maybe you have to make your own food.
Well, I mean, sometimes they have like salad bars or like it's just it really depends. There are sometimes depending on the school more than one uh university like catering area. So if you can find what each one is serving on the day, it helps. Eating off campus is an option. If you like cook, if you have a kitchen on campus, then that's another way to kind of get around it. There are options. It's just a little bit of a nuisance sometimes.
Okay, so it's something to watch out for. But Hero, every time I've gone to America, I've either tried to just cook my own food, okay, and I go to some good places. I go to Whole Foods, Sprouts, the
Uh,
farmers market. So I'm just trying to find what I can find there. And if I'm eating, I just try and go lean. I go with the where did I go? Was it Chipotle?
Chipotle.
Chipotle, where they have the burritos and stuff, and you can kind of
Yeah,
like you can choose kind of what you can eat there. But like, yeah, nah, maybe this is a downside, guys. Maybe it's a downside, but I could also argue, Hero. I think it depends where you go in the US as well, which city you are, which
exactly.
town you are. Let's say if you went to LA and you live in a neighborhood of LA which is like very very health conscious, then it might be
Hmm.
easier for you. You know?
Right. I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah, that's true. I was based in the South as well, so that was like a complete different food culture. It was a
Mm.
lot of fried food, a lot of steaks and stuff like that.
Ooh, the South. MHD says, "Catch me, me boy. Where are you guys located? We're based. Train Effect is based in London, in the UK. We got Hero right now that is in Washington, in the USA, home of Donald Trump. Donald Trump just around the corner. Maybe Barron Trump
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. He asked to call it football, right? Not soccer.
Yeah. C- City City Striker. My goal is to play pro soccer. If I go pro, I would just go into the military. Hold on. What are you saying, City? My goal is to play pro soccer. See, I can't even read what you're saying here. Basically, I think what you're trying to say is, should I go play an academy abroad or should I go to military college? That's completely your decision. Military college and go play in academy abroad is really down to what you want,
Hmm.
what you want in your life and what you want to go for. Military college is probably the more safe, secure option in terms of building your future and your career outside of soccer. It'll also teach you a lot of good life habits, I'm sure. I think military is really good for that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, the academy side is something you really got to decide with your heart.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
He also says City Striker says, Hero, I'm going to trial this weekend with a reserve team for a USL championship team. Any advice? I'm left footed. Cam and CDM. First of all, Hero, I think when people talk about a USL championship team is going to trial with the reserves, is it usually in the US a case of just these open trials that you kind of pay to go to?
Sometimes. So in some clubs they'll invite you, and then that kind of bypasses the fee. But a lot of times to play in what they call summer league, which is like, I guess, what you play when the college season isn't on. Like
Hmm.
you have to pay, I don't know, $40, $20 to go and trial for the team a couple of times if they like you. Usually if you're a college player, they'll like you if you're semi-decent. And then that season goes all the way from around May until August, and you're just playing. That's also like another pro atmosphere. Um, it's a nice way to stay fit and stay like tuned in with your football.
Yeah,
But advice on the trial, I guess just preparation, and a lot of confidence comes from preparation. So just make sure you're doing a lot of technical stuff and making sure that you're as ready as you can be mentally. So then when the trial comes, you'll be 100%.
there we go, Hero. Speaking like a true train effective app user, app legend right now. All right, all right, and all right. So we got more questions here. Um, so I've got a lot of questions here. Okay, guys, I've seen so many questions today about how to get pro opportunities. I'm from India. Um, as an African, how do I contact coaches in Europe? Epic says how to play in European clubs as an Asian. Okay, Asia, Africa, India. These are all countries, most countries in Asia, not all of them, but a lot of them. Asia, Africa, India usually means no go to outside, to play outside, no go. You have to stop wasting time about how to contact clubs in Europe. They don't want you. I'm so sorry to say this, but they don't want you because they already have 6,100 million players in Europe, in their city, in their town, in their country that they're looking at. So you, if you were to come in, have to be so good, so hundreds of miles better, the next Messi. You're the Messi of the 1 million people in the city, in the town that they're already looking at to even consider you. But even if they did consider you, you still need a visa. You still need passports. You still need all this stuff. So for all those people asking about, oh, how do I contact teams in Europe? Forget about it. Forget about it. You're wasting time. Instead, in this globalized network of videos, of video cameras, of teams, of scouting networks everywhere, focus on being the best player in your city, in your town, in your state. If you do that, the opportunities will come. But you have to stop wasting time contacting teams, especially if you're one of those countries. I'm sorry to say, this is very hard to get to Europe. You have to stop wasting your time, stop wasting your energy, and transfer that energy into your development, your training, and getting to be the best in your city, the best in your country, and then you can get somewhere. Stop wasting time. Stop wasting time. Maybe it's a cold answer. Maybe it's an answer you don't want to hear, but I'm trying to save you time in your life because I know so many players over the years who spend years trying to contact teams because they're in India or whatever. Like when they could have just spent all those hundreds of hours contacting teams to be the best player in India and play in the Indian Premier League or whatever. Like do that.
Yeah, and there's more exposure if you play competitively in your country. And if it gets filmed, then you get exposure to these clubs in Europe. But cold calling
Uh,
is too hard.
It's 100% like Hiro. We had the Train Effective Elite Camp in Portugal back in June, and in the Elite Camp and across our open camps with Train Effective, we have a scouting network. We have an exposure network, we call it. So we have personal relationships with different scouts all over Europe. I talked to a scout in where was he from? It was in Scandinavia. Maybe it was Finland or Iceland, and so in Finland, Iceland, I can't remember which one it is, Finland, Iceland, they get a lot of African players. They bring a lot of players from Africa to those Scandinavian countries because in the Scandinavian countries, it's easier to bring over African players. But what the scouts do, okay, my personal conversations with these people that bring over the African players, they physically go to Africa, let's say Nigeria. They go to Nigeria and you'll see the white man come watch an 11 versus 11 match with the best players in a town or a region, the best players, okay? And then they might scout players to bring back to Europe from there. But you have to get yourself in those positions already as an African player, okay? These Europeans, these Americans, they're looking at Africa. But you got to be the best in your state, your city. You got to be. Don't waste time. Like stop watching this stream and go train, go play, go test yourself. Seriously, if that's your goal, your ultimate goal. B for D1 says, "Can you come to Sweden?" We have a lot of Swedish players that come to London, so we don't have a plan to be in Sweden just of yet, but come to London. All right, go from Stockholm, from the airport. Boom. Isaac says, "I don't like the way company is coaching." So Hero, I think you posted
Yeah.
this right, and we'll get to the reason why you posted this one. But yeah, where did you find that clip?
No, Claire found it, I think.
Okay.
Um, but I guess it's a it's a reality of complacency, right? Um, so it showed company getting pushed to the limits. We saw, I mean, he's probably experienced everything, having the career he had at City and getting coached by Guardiola, Mancini, and all of them. So obviously he dealt with it like a pro and told the player to, I guess, toughen up. He needs a bit of mentality, and that went pretty
Yeah.
well.
Dr. Mixer, we're back again. Yeah, so Vincent Company, if you haven't seen this clip, go over to our TikTok or our Instagram, whatever social platform you're following us on, and look for the Vincent Company clip. We just posted it in the last 24 hours. So you see it, and you just hear a lot of swearing, swearing, swearing. I was still debating if on the train effective side we should actually bleep out that swearing. But look, for dramatic effect and for what you really hear on the training ground, on the fields, like this is how it really is, guys, with a lot of environments. So maybe it's good that you hear that. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, tough environment, but sometimes these tough circumstances create the best out of players as well.
Hmm.
Yeah. But take a clip of that. Take a look at that clip, guys, because it's going super viral on our socials right now. But this is what we want to share at Train Effective. Would you like to play under Vincent Company, Hero, or what manager would you like to play under?
I would like to play on the Pep, honestly.
A Pep.
On
Okay,
the,
Pep ball.
I think Pep is like from the training sessions. It just sounds like a different level, like the level of detail and all of that. I guess also seeing the exposure Teta's getting at the moment, that'd be quite cool to see. He does a lot of like mentality focused things and a lot of structured trainings around how the system has to work defensively and also like build up play and everything.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know anyone else. I'd maybe Simeone might be quite fun.
Okay. So
Playing like total.
Sam and I always say Mourinho. We like to play under Jose Mourinho, but because we both like managers that are good man to man. They'll encourage you,
Yeah,
motivate you, so they can get the very best out of you. And sometimes you need a bit of that closer relationship with the managers. This is our
yeah,
opinion.
yeah,
Guys,
yeah.
in the
I
in
mean,
the chat, let
I
us
see
know
that.
what manager you want to play under. Go on, Hero.
I see that. I mean, Mourinho. Did you watch the Spurs documentary when he was there? The
I
one on
did I
Amazon?
did a few episodes. I did.
And it was interesting how he like dealt with Dele Alli and obviously players like that are very different, or how like he dealt with Ericsson when he wanted to leave. And yeah, I mean, he seems like a great guy, a great intelligent person.
Yeah, I think it's there's someone that's a showman in front of the cameras at matches in interviews. I think Mourinho is a showman. I think behind closed doors you see that this guy has a very good relationship with his players,
Yeah.
and is very interested in seeing them succeed and improve. But if you cross him the wrong way, that's not good either. Just like Salah's crossed Slot the wrong way. It's going to be very interesting if he plays next weekend.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I doubt it. I don't think unless I don't know. I mean, they did okay yesterday with Inter, so
Surprising win.
yeah.
Surprising win. Uh, can I use the app to go pro? Because it's hard here in Africa. Look, we're not going to promise you that if you use the app, you're going to go pro. You have to put in the work. Um, but like I said, Saxi, cream rises to the top. So as I said, your goal needs to be in the being the best player in your city. So you have to then think, how am I going to be the best player in the city? And you have to train. You have to work. You have to be the hardest worker in the town, hardest worker in the room. So can you use the app to go pro? Yes, you can. Is it hard in Africa? Yes, it's hard in Africa, but it's also hard in Algeria. It's also hard in Australia. It's hard everywhere. It's hard in America. So, I mean, this is the most popular sport in the world with 10, 20,000 players playing professionally. So, you know, it's hard everywhere. You just got to love the process, really. Love the process, love the grind. Eddie Howe gives great instructions and just knows football. He's a football student of the game with great principles. Eddie Howe is someone I'd like to play for as well, Scott.
Yeah. Also Thomas Frank. He also seems pretty cool.
Yeah. The thing with Eddie Howe, Thomas Frank, these guys all look a bit more like, let's say, the educated football types. They look like they might take a little step back, be a little bit more patient with you. So I think if you're a new player in the team You want to make an impact. This is the kind of manager that you want. Someone that's going to put their arm around your shoulder, or just take a
Mm,
little bit step back and give you the right advice you need. That's what they look like.
mm, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Uno says, is the app offline? No, you can. Well, parts of it are, but generally you should have an internet connection when you use it. Um, so, what if I moved from Nigeria to London, UK for football opportunity? Don't move from Nigeria. Be the best in Lagos or wherever you live in Nigeria, my man. Stop it. Stop wasting time. Stop wasting time because uh, unless you can figure out how to live in the UK as a Nigerian because your family ancestry or you got a UK passport or something, that's how you do it. But bro, you have AI. You have AI. Research in UI AI. How can you do it as these are my circumstances? I don't have a passport or this is my nationality. Like, how can I do it? That'll already give you the answer. That'll already give you the answer because there's a lot of specific legal reasons why. And I'm not going to get into it here, but there's so many.
Hmm.
Hansi Flick. Yep. Hansi Flick is another one.
Yeah. With that high line. Yeah.
With the high line. Yes. Hero, is there anything else you wanted to cover today? Maybe a good topic for the ballers out there, trainer vector ballers.
Just in general.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
like maybe something you thought was a topic to cover, something I've been covered on the podcast
uh,
before.
I think something that's pretty. I think it's a new thing we're seeing very often. Um, and I try to teach this a lot when I'm coaching. Is flexibility in positions. I see a lot of players now that they have the ability to play two or three positions, and that just makes it a lot easier to be attractive to coaches, right? Because if you can play center back, but if you can also play left back and holding mid, then and you can do the job well in all three, then you have three chances of playing at a position rather than just one. Um, and coaches like that. Or even if like I don't know if it's a smaller team or a smaller club, or even in the US, they're putting squad restrictions now in college soccer, in terms of like the numbers of players that coaches can recruit, how many scholarships they can give away. If they can get a player that can play two or three positions, then that makes it a lot easier for them. So I think like going forward, I think if everyone can just focus on playing positions. I mean, you have to also think about it. If you're a centre back, don't train to be a striker or a winger. That wouldn't make sense. I
Mhm.
think fullback, holding mid, yeah. If you're a striker, can you play on both wings and maybe cam, like Trossard? Then that helps a lot. If you're a midfielder, can you, I don't know, maybe see if you can play cam and on one of the wings? That also, I think, just looking into that, I think going forward in the future, players should really try to get that flexibility.
Yeah, guys, be flexible because we get so many questions. My coach, I'm a striker, but my coach wants me to play center mid. Guys, just be adaptable. Play center mid. It's fun. Play fullback. Play striker. You can make an impact from everywhere. Oh, I'm a
Yeah,
fullback, so I need to defend more. Yeah, you need to defend more. As a fullback, you can make those overlapping runs. You can drive through the center, like Reece James. Reece James is a fullback that now plays a lot as a center mid. So, guys, anything's possible.
yeah,
Anything's possible. Faisal says, "How do you choose your position if you've been playing everywhere and perform good except keeper?" Faisal, wherever you can make the most impact in your team. Um, for example, right now I play in a team, and look, I consider myself as someone who can play everywhere. Okay, wherever the team needs me. My preferred position is as a winger. I like to play wing, but right now in our team we have two very good wingers, and I don't think those wingers are good anywhere else really because they're so fast. I don't think they can. I don't think they're as good deployed as a centre mid or whatever. So I've been playing a lot of centre mid. Did I play centre mid? Did I play number 6, number 8 much before? No. But I watched some Train Effective app courses from Coach Rafaz about how to play as a 6, how to play as an 8, and I thought, oh, okay, this is how I play. I've got the first touch, I've got the passing ability, I've got the speed, I've got everything there. Yeah, I can play here. And now we're making impacts. We're playing there. We're giving the balls to the wingers. Like we're having fun. So is it the position I most prefer? No, but I know I can make an impact there. So it is what it is, and we help the team win. That's it.
Hmm.
That's it. Any suggestions for basketball? Same thing. Basketball different. Like point guards are usually shorter than the other positions
Sentence.
of centers,
Yeah.
so it's a little bit different. I can't really give you suggestions right now in basketball, but when we make effective basketball, Nick from Train Effective Basketball will help you, I'm sure. Yeah, so that's a good one, Hero. All right. Well, let me think if there's anything else we should go through. Guys, any questions, more questions to the audience? We'll take one or two more. It's great to be a winger, says Suxy. You're making a point, Nick. I'm 100% I'm making a point. I've played in 20 plus teams, 25 teams in my life. So I've seen the same patterns all the time. So I'm just telling you these patterns. I'm telling these patterns. Um Hansi is very intense and has high standards. Yeah, Hansi is very intense. I think Pep Guardiola is very intense. Vincent Company is extremely intense. I feel like he looks like the most intense to me. I feel like if you're in training and you're just not feeling up to it, like your head's a bit down, like maybe you didn't sleep well the night before, and he can see that low energy, that Vincent Company is going to come right at you and scream in your
Oh
ear
yeah.
to get that energy up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go. Bonne journée avec from Dan. I think that means great. Like hello. Do you know some French?
Is that like good day
Bonne journée avec. I think it's good day, something like that. Or maybe he's
to
swearing at me.
everyone?
Yeah, he's swearing you. All right. So Hiro, I think we can call it early day today. We'll have a little bit of
Perfect.
shorter episode than usual. We started a bit later. Any final words for the Train Effective audience?
Stay effective.
Stay effective.